And that's Alvaro, and we are all part of the Lion Credit Union Initiative.
Caitlin couldn't be here. She's also on the executive board.
And so what we're doing is we're trying to build a credit union. We're going to talk today, we're going to have two parts of the presentation. First part is what is a credit union and how it interacts with Columbia. And so we're going to go over, kind of get you to understand what we're trying to build here. And then we're going to have a quick break, grab cookies that are left, drink, and if you want to stay and learn about how you want to be involved, how you could actually be part of the team, then we're going to have a second presentation about that. But the reason that it's not just one presentation about how to be part of our team is because even people that aren't actually part of the team, which is going to be kind of small, should still be excited about a credit union because it's sick. Like, I'll go through it and you'll actually see why that is, but the credit union is good for everyone. And so even if you aren't actually part of the initiative, anytime you hear a credit union, anyone talk about LCUI, or just talk about banking in general, you should be a proponent and say, hey, wait, credit unions are awesome, and we just want you to be excited because this is happening, and it's going to be really awesome, and we're really excited, and we think that you should be too. So that's the deal. So let's start. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
I got the license. You got the presentation.
Okay, cool. So I'm Jared. I said that before, just making sure you remember. And we're going to talk about credit unions. So, before I start, if you guys have any questions or comments or want to say anything, just raise your hand during the presentation. I'll stop and I'll call on you just so you don't forget.
Can we get a show of hands, by the way? People who are at this early stage think they might want to get involved. Awesome. You guys rock. Thanks for coming out.
Cool. Okay, so what the fuck is a credit union? It's kind of an intimidating title, but in essence, a credit union is a lot like a bank. In that it can give lines of credit, you can have savings accounts, checking accounts, it can give you mortgages, car loans, it has tellers, ATMs across the nation. It's a lot like a bank. Except the real difference here, and this is where a lot of the differences that we'll talk about are stemming from, a credit union, unlike a bank, when you have an account there, instead of being a customer, you're a member. So you are actually a member of the credit union in that you have voting rights whenever we are electing anybody, you have voting rights whenever we're making a decision about the direction that we want to go with the organization. So that's really cool. It means that it's not just people trying to pull profits from you, but they're trying to create an institution that's tailored for you. And so that's really exciting. And it's also a not-for-profit, which is an interesting status, and how does that differ from a bank? Well, if you look at traditional banks, when they create profits, and that's what they're trying to do, it's going back to the CEO, it's going back to advertising so they can maximize returns. And they can maximize return on investment for their investors. And that's really the point of a bank. They're trying to maximize profits. And see, that's the key difference. When you look at credit unions, what they're doing with their profits, instead of putting it back to CEOs, they're giving it back to the members by reducing fees. And for our Lion Credit Union, by putting it back to the community, this could be giving to campus organizations. This could be giving scholarships to students. Or this could be eliminating fees, lowering rates, and just creating a larger community. And so that's really exciting because A, it means that our main point is not profit, it's members, and B, when we do create profits, it's going back to those members. But not just that. So it's cool because we do better things with our profits, but not just that, we actually have lower rates. So if you look at national averages, and this isn't 10 years out, this is last quarter. This is 1 month ago. National averages, credit unions, and I'm not going to have you read the whole chart, but credit unions have better rates on almost everything. They have lower interest rates on loans and mortgages. They have higher interest rates on savings and CDs. It's just better. They are really just net good for the community. But not just that, they're tailored for a community. And this is also what defines a credit union. And so tailored for the community, what that could mean for Columbia would mean that unlike Chase, for example, that doesn't really care about building credit because students are such a small part of their market share, for us, it'd be huge. And so that means that we could have accounts that were made to make sure that you graduate with perfect credit. Or we could have accounts that are made so that when you have roommates, you can all pitch in and pay rent really easily and simply. But these are just some ideas that we've had. Since you guys would actually be shareholders, we're totally open to other ideas, and we're open to anything that you guys need. And so that's really the cool thing about a credit union, that we're here and we have our ear to the ground listening to our community. And we would be a huge proponent for financial education. And so not only would the people actually running the credit union, and it would be student run, be there and would be learning a whole lot, but even if you're not an econ major, you still have to know what credit is. You still have to know how to intelligently have a credit card or manage a loan. And this is stuff that a lot of the time, Columbia students don't learn, just because we don't have classes that are mandatory about don't spend over your limit, which is impossible, but whatever. And so that's really cool, because we would just be a source of financial education. And unlike seminars and agencies that just bring speakers in, this would actually be running a financial institution. They'd be actually getting hands-on experience, which is cool. So this is a really cool idea. So has it happened before? Well, actually, over the summer, Misha and I went to Washington, D.C. to visit the Georgetown Credit Union. And there they have an unbelievable organization. They've been around for 30 years. 80% of the undergraduate community banks with them. It's a better experience. And we're going to show you a video that tells you a little bit more about it.
The Georgetown University Alumni Institute Federal Credit Union is turning 30 this year. 3 decades of service and one great Georgetown tradition. It all began in 1983 with a few extraordinary undergraduate students who carried out a dream in the basement of Union Hall, providing lawyers with free, student-oriented banking solution. 1 year later, while Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown men's basketball team winning a national championship, we were busy opening up our very first checking accounts. We didn't have much starting out. There was no shortage of passion, determination, and vision. And 30 years later, these are the main values that still drive the bank today. In 2013, Georgetown University Alumni Institute Federal Credit Union, affectionately referred to as WASC, is the largest entirely student-run financial institution in the nation. Peak assets at $17.9 million and a $1.2 million loan portfolio. WASC interns continue to keep the bank an integral part of the hilltop and one of Georgetown's most respected traditions. All campus tours and everyone outside the bank windows for a reason. We also demonstrate our commitment to the Georgetown community through our various philanthropic endeavors, including our annual Town Community Service Project, the Reimagine Georgetown Grant, and the George Houston Fund.
Like the passionate students that founded WASC 30 years ago, and all of the interns that have come since, the bank is something that we all feel incredibly proud to be a part of.
There really is nothing like it. Where else can you become the CEO of a multi-million-dollar institution before your 21st birthday? So let's celebrate what we've done, what we are currently doing, and what we have yet to do.
Yeah, so they're a really cool institution. We got to meet with them, and like all credit unions, they were really welcoming and they're really excited about others building credit unions. And what's really cool is for them, their main marketing strategy is they'll put their rates against the rates of banks in the area, and they don't really have to do much more than that, just because they have lower rates, and because they just have a better experience. And I don't know if you saw, but a lot of the people that are working there, they're not just tellers, they're advertisers, they're coders, they're our business planners. It would really be something for the whole community, not just econ or finance.